What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the BenchWire podcast. If you guys enjoy the podcast, please consider subscribing. It's free. It's going to help us get discovered. Quick update. We are trying to get our podcast on the Apple Podcasts. So we're currently in progress of that. Yes, I have done research.
Ooh. What about Spotify?
I can get that done.
Ooh, right. We're going to make it happen.
We're going to make it happen. This was a great week of football, and we have a lot to talk about. So we're just going to get right into it.
Yes, sir.
The Bills, they defeated the Patriots on Thursday Night Football 24-10. Josh Allen continuing to look like he's returning to Josh Allen form. I don't know if that's because of lack of confidence or elbow injury, whatever it is.
I think as injury. Injury has a major impact.
Yeah. James Cook, he had 14 carries, 64 yards.
I like to see him.
He actually had an extra carry. I think he had one more carry than Devin Singletary, so they might be looking to make James Cook that running back one. He's definitely more explosive than Singletary. He has a lot of pop.
And he's better than most of the running backs on that roster, I think.
Yeah. Mac Jones, he was 22 of 36, 195 yards and a touchdown. When you throw 22 passes, or when you complete 22 passes and it's only for 195 yards, that means you're doing checkdowns.
Sounds like Daniel Jones' stat line.
Marcus Jones, he had 2 receptions for 51 yards and a touchdown, most yards on the offense, and he's a punt returner. He's actually a cornerback, too. He's not a receiver.
He's a fast man.
He's a good player, but
he's undrafted, right?
I believe so.
That's insane.
So,
Jim.
Good player, but, man, I mean, I just realized something.
What happened here?
Mid-conversation. So, it's Marcus Jones, Jack Jones, Jonathan Jones, Mac Jones.
That's a lot of Joneses. We got to keep up with the Joneses, if you know what I mean.
But, yeah, so Marcus Jones, when he's a cornerback and he's your leading receiver, that's never a good thing. Their leading pass catcher with reception-wise, he had 6, was Ramondre Stevenson, their running back.
Yes.
So when Mac Jones was screaming at the offensive coordinator that he doesn't like the game plan and said some very mean words that I will not repeat here.
Well, that's what happens when Matt Patricia and Joe Judge are your offensive coordinators. I would be mad, too.
Yeah, they got to fix that.
Yeah, Bill Belichick needs to, suck it up and just hire a well-known offensive coordinator instead of just, having someone in-house.
I think if you asked 10 NFL fans, 9 out of 10 of them would say that the Patriots, when they win in the most, hard to watch ways. Just the most, it's just not fun. You know what I mean?
What's their record now? Aren't they?
I don't know.
500, I think.
I don't know. I'm not looking for you. I'm gonna be honest.
All right, he's gonna look for me in the meantime. But
as I said, I'm not gonna look for you.
I think Bill Belichick needs to start adapting to the new NFL. I feel like he's still coaching old fashioned, and I feel like if you, update your coaching game plan to make sure, hey, that seems like a new trend. Why don't we do that? No. He's still his old-fashioned self. I think he needs to get out of that and update his coaching.
The thing I look at is the Mac Jones pick.
Yeah.
Mac Jones, no doubt in my mind, he could be a good quarterback in this league.
Oh, of course.
But it's the fact that you look at all the new running backs, they're all able to run. Even Mahomes. Mahomes can run. Joe Burrow ran for a touchdown this past week.
running backs. Quarterbacks.
That can run.
Yes.
You have Jalen Hurts, Deshaun Watson. Tua, he's kind of the exception. He doesn't really run too much anymore.
But he can if he
needs to.
Yeah.
Mahomes, again, he can if he needs to. Joe Burrow, he can if he needs to.
Yes.
Mac Jones can't.
He can't.
He has that giant brace.
He's a pocket guy.
Yeah, so if you're going to do that...
They could still play in this league. You just have to, be able to protect them.
Yeah, and... They've always been known for having a good O-line, but these past few weeks it's been a little bit weird.
They've had some injuries, though.
Yeah.
So I know that. So that plays a key part into it.
All right, enough talking about the Patriots.
Why we talk about the Patriots? Let's move on.
Right. Packers, they beat the Bears 28-19. 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter from the Packers.
Aaron Rodgers still him?
Sure.
Sure.
A.J. Dillon had 18 carries, 93 yards, which is 5.2 average, and a touchdown.
Better than Devin Singletary.
You always bring this up. There's no debate anymore. I don't care. Christian Watson had 94 total yards and 2 touchdowns. Cole Kmet, 7 catches, 72 yards. He continues to look like he's getting better game by game, which is really good. He was really good at Notre Dame. I expected him to be good in the league, And the fact that he wasn't too good last year kind of made me feel like, the Bears just weren't utilizing him correctly, and they finally are. So, Justin Fields, he had a long touchdown run, which was absolutely electric. He was 20 of 25 for 254 yards and 2 interceptions. So, passing-wise, he got the job done except for those 2 picks. One was to Jair Alexander, who finally got on the board, it feels like.
Yes.
And then just to go back, Justin Fields, currently on pace to set the NFL record for a single season rushing yards from a quarterback with 1,206.
That's a concerning stat, I think. That means the Bears' offense is awful. And he just has to run because, the pocket's breaking down. He just has to scramble. There's something out there, and he makes it work, though.
Meanwhile, they're going to they're going to go Will Anderson in the draft likely with their top pick, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
But the rest of the draft should literally be receivers, O-line. But prioritizing O-line over receivers because
Ryan Pace has to do a better job.
Yeah, with, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
Yes.
What you're putting out there is disgusting.
Let's talk about Christian Watson, though. 8 touchdowns in the last few games. That's insane. In the last 4 games.
His last 4 games, he had 8 touchdowns.
I think, that has to be something that we have to congratulate him for. Because, in the beginning of the season, he looked like a bust.
I got you. I got Christian Watson, if you're watching, congratulations.
I don't think he's watching, but if he is, congratulations.
Watching. He's literally a known fan.
Oh.
That's why you guys should subscribe to BenchWire.
Yeah, duh. But, what's it called? Christian Watson, though, right? He was drafted in the 2nd round. They drafted him to be that guy. And
he's becoming that guy.
He has been insane. And, him, maybe Romeo Doubs.
His receiving
good.
touchdown was actually kind of a moss.
Yeah. And he had a rushing touchdown as well. So, if those 2 draft picks pan out, then Rodgers might have receivers. So, don't say Rodgers doesn't have receivers.
I still think they're going to draft another receiver to be his main one. I don't know if Christian Watson, in my opinion, could be that wide receiver 1.
He's young.
It's possible.
It's still his rookie year. We saw, some strides this past few weeks.
It's mostly because unless you're like a Tyreek Hill, I don't look at like a speedster as like your wide receiver 1. Mm-hmm. That's like saying for the Eagles, Quez Watkins is our wide receiver 1. Yeah, it just doesn't really seem like a wide receiver 1 type thing.
He has the frame.
Because look at Devontae.
Yeah.
Look at Hopkins. Look at you could say DJ Moore's kind of a speedster, but even he's like a big body guy kind of.
Those guys, they weren't great their rookie years, right? Devontae, D-Hop.
Devontae was.
He wasn't great.
He showed signs.
Well, he's showing some signs right now.
Let's not compare them.
You're
jumping the gun there.
I'm just saying. He might turn out to be a special guy.
I think he is special. But
in the last few games, it's possible. It's possible. I'm giving you some love, all right? But let's move on to the next game. Yeah, Steelers.
They defeated the Falcons 19-16. Probably the worst game of the week. Well, never mind. I forgot of the Broncos, but this is up there. Kenny Pickett, 16 of 28, continues to struggle with, I guess, accuracy and then just making the right reads.
They need to get Pickens more involved. He only had 1 catch.
Yeah, he had 197 yards. Pickett did, and 1 touchdown. Najee Harris looked like Najee Harris, 17 carries, 86 yards, which comes out to 5.6 average. Pat Freiermuth, 3 receptions, 76 yards.
Finally getting involved.
He is going to be one of the top tight ends in the league. Him and Cole Kmet, I think, are going to make their way up there soon. Drake London, shout out to him, 6 receptions, 95 yards. Season's close to ending-ish. And he only has 47 receptions. Mariota, let's get the guy the ball.
Yeah. Now
he is talented.
I have something later in our buy or sell topic, so we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Vikings, they defeat the Jets 27-22. Mike White threw 57 passes. Crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, 31 of 57, 369 yards. Nice. 2 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson, 8 receptions, 162 yards.
He's home.
Shout out Zonovan Knight, 15 carries, 90 yards. 6
So is he
average.
their lead back right now?
Yeah, James Robinson had less carries than him.
And I think Michael Carter got hurt as well.
He will be back, though. No. He said he's back, and then the media asked about Zonovan White and said what's going to happen to him. He said he's not going anywhere.
Okay.
So Zonovan White is part of that rotation now.
Okay,
Dalvin Cook, 20 carries, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. He's really the only notable guy on the Vikings that did anything too crazy. DJ Reed held his own against Jefferson. I think it was 47 yards. He did allow the touchdown. I don't even know if that was on DJ Reed, but kind continues to be very underrated on that Jets defense. He's only, I think, 25. He's still really young.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that he deserves a little bit of a shout out, despite Justin Jefferson's comments saying that, the safety is really the only reason that he didn't get the targets that he was supposed to. But whatever. Justin Jefferson trying to cause drama now. Odell?
Diva, LSU? What?
Lions, they defeated...
They're back.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like, the offense is crazy for the Lions. They beat the Jags 40-14.
They're clicking.
Jared Goff, 31-41, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like I said, man, he has the possibility to go to a team and be okay for them.
Now, you think they'll move off of him this year?
I don't know his contract situation. I think they should draft a rookie and let the rookie learn behind Goff for a year. Because especially like a guy like C.J. Stroud, who could definitely start, but I do think he would actually benefit from a year of just learning behind even Jared Goff. Jared Goff's a great guy. He really is a great guy. And realistically, he's not a bad quarterback. He just needs the talent to be good. And like in the NFL nowadays, you need the talent to be good. So like he might just be a good quarterback. Who knows?
They've won what, like 5 of the last 6 games?
Yeah, they're on fire right now.
Yeah.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown has a big part of that. He's finally kind of getting back. Like we said last week, like he's back into his groove now. 11 receptions, 114 yards, and 2 touchdowns. DJ Chark, I love the signing. It's a 1-year deal, kind of a prove-it year for him. 5 receptions, 98 yards, another LSU diva. Played for the Jags, if you didn't know, the last few years. It was pretty good. He had a 1,000-yard rookie season, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, pretty good. And then Christian Kirk, 6 receptions, 104 yards. Let's talk about Christian Kirk, right?
Let's talk about him.
Because
he got paid a lot of money.
He got paid a lot of money, and he was judged for it.
He was judged.
He was judged. And you know what he has been this season? Fantastic.
Yeah.
He has 62 receptions, 829 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He is more than just a deep threat. He has changed his game because, like I said, deep threats, it's hard for them to be wide receiver ones. And that's what I thought with Christian Kirk. It was a little bit of an overpay. I thought he was just a really good wide receiver too. But he has been nothing short of a wide receiver one this season.
Yeah.
Fantastic for them. Really happy for him because another guy who you could just tell is a good guy. He stays out of the drama. He just kind of puts his head down and works.
Right? Yeah. So.
And shout out Christian Kirk.
Yeah, everyone was making fun of that signing.
Yeah. Well, maybe they weren't making fun of him. They were making fun of the fact of what he got.
The Jaguars paid him all that money. But hey,
it's looking like it might pay off. Yeah. Especially with Calvin Ridley next season, who could be that wide receiver one, and Kirk's going to be even better.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is going to have some wide receivers.
Christian Kirk is already popping off. He's going to have more protection.
Yes.
In that lineup. And by protection, I mean people have to worry about Calvin Ridley, that they're going to start worrying a little less about Kirk, and Kirk's going to feed off of that.
Kirk.
So, Eagles, they defeat the Titans 35-10. Jalen Hurts 29-39, 390 yards, 4 total touchdowns, which it was 3 passing, 1 rushing. AJ Brown destroyed his old team. 8 receptions, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Devontae Smith, 5 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Both are on pace for over 1,000 yards this season. First time that the Eagles will have 2 1,000-yard seasons. I don't think they had it. I don't know if they've had it before, but if anyone was going to be close, it was Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin.
That's what I was about to say.
Again, not too sure, though. I'll admit on this podcast. Wasn't really into sports until like 2016. Mm-hmm. So I pretty much just started watching the Eagles on Carson's rookie year because I got into like the draft and all that stuff that year. So yeah, a lot of the Eagles history, might not know it. I try to educate myself, but
yeah,
it's kind of hard. Josh Sweat, 2 sacks. He did his little celebration.
He
be sweating. The Kobe Dean looked amazing in the limited time that he played. Bro got held and still brought down Derrick Henry for a loss of yards.
I'm like, dang.
Or maybe not a loss of yards. He got a tackle for a loss of yards, but brought down Henry. He needs more playing time.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, though, Kaiser White is okay. Another guy who has been fantastic on this defense, but it's looking like he might miss a game. Not too sure. I don't know if he was even on the injury report, so maybe not. But regardless, this is Nakobe Dean's moment of saying, "Hey, Jonathan Gannon, include me more." And then, Eagles defense, they held Derrick Henry to 11 carries for 30 yards, which is 2.7 average. Let's just say that Linval Joseph and Natamika's
the Eagles got to play the Giants,
They've been fantastic for us. I mean, it's nice to see Cox get off the field and have some time to get his feet back. Same with Brandon Graham. And the run defense is there. I think. I hope.
Now, Titans' offensive line ain't the greatest, but they look great. The Eagles. But now Saquon's coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what we can do with him. I think you'll be feasting a little bit, but not you guys. You guys will be feasting.
Okay, I was gonna say.
But you never know. Saquon hits home runs.
Listen. Saquon, he's on my fantasy team. I hope he has some success. I hope we beat them like 50-10.
Oh,
but if Saquon or no, 50-14. I got you, bro.
14.
Yeah, 14. Saquon got both touchdowns.
I want 17. Graham Gano has to hit a field goal after last week.
Okay.
After last week.
But yeah, just to go back, AJ Brown, 8 receptions, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did a little spank animation celebration. He also trucked Christian Fulton.
The PI play?
It was a PI, yes. So a lot of people don't know how to feel about that. I'm going to explain it to you because I looked into it. So if you watch the replay, he had a kind of an inside cut, and then obviously. Or no, sorry, it was an outside cut.
Outside cut.
Yeah, Christian Fulton followed the outside cut, was running towards the sideline, was kind of like boxing out the sideline.
Yeah.
But as A.J. Brown started going up the field, Fulton didn't try to backpedal. He kind of just stood there. And that's why it's the foul. Or the penalty. It wouldn't have been a penalty if Christian Fulton was going backwards and then got hit and fell over. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he planted his feet and didn't move means that he bit, and then obviously A.J. Brown couldn't get past him because he was right there, and it's not OPI. So
it's not OPI.
Just a little
I thought it was
explanation
OPI,
there.
But listen to Matt's explanation. He's always right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, then should we
How would it be?
Should we mention that
someone got fired.
Yeah, John
Titans
Robinson.
GM John Robinson, after, A.J. Brown going off against his former team. Yeah, he got fired because of it. I don't think that's ever happened before. Like, a former
This is probably one of the most funny things that could have happened.
Yeah, I think that, it's so funny.
The Titans owner just sat there, and he was like, you didn't give this guy the money?
Yeah.
This guy.
He's
a top 10 wide receiver in the league.
There was a video that was out on social media
of them. The guy was in the box.
Of Mike Vrabel, like in the draft room. He looked pissed off after they traded away AJ Brown.
I would be too.
Well, yeah, and now they fired the GM because they obviously didn't see eye to eye.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it this way: $25 million a year for a receiver. Yeah, you're paying them good money, but guess what? These next few years, it's just gonna keep going up and up. So you might as well just pay your players at this point.
Let's move on.
Yeah, Browns defense beat the Texans 27-14. They had 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, 3 touchdowns.
Yes.
Donovan Peoples-Jones also got a punt return touchdown. So Deshaun didn't really do much. It was kind of expected. Come on, right?
I expected it. I thought he'd be rusty.
Deshaun, he was 12 of 22, 131 yards and an interception. You got anything to add there? I don't.
Deshaun, do better. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Commanders and the Giants, they tied 2020. God. Graham Gano had an opportunity to win the game. I believe it was
58 yards. The wind
58
was
yards.
pushing
Wind was
against
pushing
him,
it against.
So
it was a hard one.
Hard kick to make.
Yeah. Taylor Heineke, 27 of 41, 275 yards and 2 touchdowns. He looked pretty good. Towards the end, the pressure was finally getting to him. I saw your D-line. I see you guys.
Kayvon Aziz making plays.
Read this right here.
Kayvon finally got to the quarterback that game, and it was great. Only if he could have fumbled in the end zone, Heineke, that would have been great, and him pick it up. But no.
Terry McLaurin.
Had end in a tie.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin, 8 receptions, 105 yards, and a touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr., 21 carries, 96 yards. Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen combined for 3 sacks. Both are defensive tackles, which means that you had a lot of pressure right up the middle, which explains why Saquon didn't have the best game.
He still has 60
He
yards.
did, but you know
they
what?
Didn't run the ball much.
If there's one defensive tackle combo that you probably don't want to go against, it's probably these guys.
Yeah.
Because Daron Payne is really good. If Jonathan Allen wasn't on that team, Daron Payne would be talked about like Jonathan Allen gets talked about.
Yes.
I mean, they are insanely talented, both of them. Daniel Jones, 25 of 31, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, and a fumble while rushing for 71 yards. He tried to, do too much.
He needs to slide when he runs. He just goes full.
He, lowers the shoulder, and it's like, homie, what are you doing? You are skinny.
You're not a running back.
I don't think so.
I like that.
Should we let Saquon take quarterback and let Daniel Jones go back there?
Hey man, I liked when we ran Wildcat. We don't even run it anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, Daniel Jones.
I'll tell you what happened. You had a quarterback.
Well, yeah, Daniel Jones needs to protect the ball. The last few weeks, he's been turning it over again. We're seeing this. We've seen this before, right? But passing wise, he was completing throws. The ones down the field, they look pretty. Darius Slayton.
He did thread the needle.
Darius
to the
Slayton at the end of the
guy.
game, you need to catch that ball.
There was a crucial third down, and he put the ball right where it needed to be.
In overtime.
To Kalen or is it Hodge? Hodges?
Isaiah Hodgins. That ball? No, I thought it was the one that got us to field goal range.
Well, there was that, but the one that was Hodgins. I'm pretty sure. No,
that was Richie James.
That's right. Oh, Richie, and then there was one with Hodgins in the fourth, I think, and it's when you guys punted it because you couldn't get further.
Yes,
but the drive kept going.
What I did not like was fourth quarter to win the game. We threw 3 passes in a row.
Down the field.
You
didn't try to go first down over.
Where was that all game? You do that in the middle of the game, not at the end when it all matters.
Yeah, I think the way that they looked at that is that at that moment, the Commanders were likely playing straight up. Mm-hmm. They were kind of just don't let them get the first down. So they were like, okay, so they're probably not putting a lot of but a lot of focus onto the, big play.
Yes.
Right? Because they're like, well, if you focus on not allowing the big play, they could just check down up the field and then boom, game over.
Yeah.
So they were just playing it normally, and I think that's why the Giants were like, screw it, let's just go down the field 3 times. Very stupid. You have one opportunity.
Those receivers
just
do
one
that,
opportunity.
Though. We don't got no AJ Brown. We don't got you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, it's one Darius Slayton, one double move, throw it down the field. If he doesn't get it, check down time.
Yes.
Not 3 times in a row.
We don't have the offense to do that yet.
Yeah.
We just don't have the talent on the offense. But it was a fun game, frustrating game, was disappointed, needed to win there, but happy we didn't lose.
And I was trying to tell Steve, listen, the tie, it sucks, right? Because no one wants a freaking tie.
No one wants a tie.
But at the end of the day, you guys are still in the playoffs, and Washington fell out because Seattle won.
Now, question, if we lose this week, does Washington move up because we'll have the same record now?
I believe that they would move up because they beat us, and they have probably more division wins now because they beat they tied with you guys.
So
they lost.
What I'm saying
actually, I don't know. I think you guys haven't played enough of the division yet because you still have to face Dallas again.
No,
right?
we lost Thanksgiving twice.
Oh yeah, okay, they would jump you.
So yeah,
because they still have to play Dallas.
If we lose this week, we'll lose the playoff spot. Correct? That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Okay. So that game Sunday night now that just got flexed, the Giants-Commanders game, that's a crucial game.
That's really going to decide
who's going to play.
Who's going to go to the playoffs. And I think, obviously, you're looking at that as if you guys lose this weekend.
When we lose this weekend.
It's on his birthday, guys. That sucks for him.
It does suck. But I'll be having fun at the bar.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited.
But let's move on to the next game.
Ravens, they defeat the Broncos 10-9. We're not going to focus much on this. Lamar suffered a knee injury. It's not season ending. It's week to week. Mm-hmm. So losing 10-9. I knew they got in field goal possession at the end, but they lost 10-9 to pretty much Huntley. The Broncos are worse than I thought.
They are awful. They
First
need
off,
to fire
I'm going to say it
Nathaniel
again.
Hackett.
Shout out their defense. They're probably a top 5 defense in the league. They only allowed 10 points. And they lost.
And they don't have Bradley Chubb
Broncos. Anymore. We literally said a stat the other day that said if you guys scored 18 points, you'd be whatever. You couldn't even get 15 points. You would have won this game.
Well, yeah.
So now you can't even score 10 points. Russell Wilson.
It's not like anyone's hurt on their offense. It's not like they're missing pieces.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
They have Cortland Sutton. Yeah. They have all those guys. I don't understand.
Yeah, we're gonna have an hour-long podcast, guys, at the end of the year. It's just gonna be a season summary of non-playoff teams and just kind of what happened that year.
We'll dedicate a whole hour to the Denver Broncos
because there's a lot that leave alone. Yeah. 49ers, they defeated the Dolphins 33-17. Jimmy Garoppolo was carted off the field with a broken foot. He is done for the season. No, they said that even if it's a deep playoff run, he can't come back.
It's a broken foot. There's a shot in 7 to 8 weeks.
It's not happening.
There's a shot. But they have to win their first game in the playoffs.
It's not going to happen.
It's a long shot, but there's a chance.
Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy was 25 of 37, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Shout out to him. Tua Tagovailoa, 18 of 33, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Both looked pretty ugly. Tyreek Hill, he didn't get the idea that they were out of this game. 9 receptions, 146 yards, and a touchdown. And then shout out Nick Bosa, 3 sacks. He leads the league now by like a margin now. It's like 1.5 sacks or something.
12 and a half.
Yeah, so he might win Defensive Player of the Year. And he was one of those guys between him and Micah in the beginning of the season. That was like, it's kind of going to be between those two.
Yeah. What happened to Judon? He fell off in the sacks? I think he's still up there.
He's still up there, but he just has to have another good game. And then he'll be right back in that conversation. But I do think Nick Bosa deserves it more than Micah. I think Nick Bosa has been underrated these last few years. People are going to try to say he's not underrated. I know who he is. But he doesn't get the recognition he deserves.
Yes.
He's really just memed for being racist, which he's not.
I think he's better than his brother.
I think he is too.
That's
not a question anymore. Man, Joey Bosa, bro, get healthy, bro.
Yeah.
You were so
hurt, right?
good. Yeah, I think he's out for the year, right?
I don't think he's out for the year. I could double check.
It's fine. I don't think he is.
We don't care about it.
Okay. Seahawks, they defeat the Rams 27-23. Geno Smith, 28 of 39, 367 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tyler Lockett, 9 receptions, 128 yards and a touchdown. DK Metcalf, 8 receptions, 127 yards and a touchdown.
Insane.
Yeah. Tariq Woolen got his 6th interception of the year, which ties C.J. Gardner-Johnson for the most in the NFL. Congratulations. And then shout out Bobby Wagner, 2 sacks and an interception, still doing his thing at his old 50-year-old self.
Yeah, against his former team.
Yep. So you got to think he had a little bit extra in there.
Oh, he had to.
Raiders, they defeat the Chargers 27-20. Justin Herbert, 28 of 47, 335 yards and a touchdown. Derek Carr, 16 of 30. 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Devontae Adams was insane. 8 receptions, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 26 carries, 144 yards, and a touchdown. And then Chandler Jones, guess what? He did something. 3 sacks.
Yeah, that was the talk of the offseason. We got Chandler Jones.
And he finally did something.
But you know what? 13.
Instead of talking about Devontae or Chandler, Josh Jacobs. I know Tyreek is having an outstanding year. Do you think there's any chance that Josh Jacobs could make a late push for that offensive player of the year? With how great he has been this season.
I think.
But I do think it's been the last few weeks where he's like kind of.
Yeah. I think offensive player of the year, it relates to wins.
Yeah.
And the Raiders haven't been winning as much. They've won the past few weeks, right? But the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, that was a splash move.
If he can somehow
like up there.
Yeah. Like if Jacobs can somehow get more yards rushing than Tyreek finishes with receiving.
Yeah, okay. Oh, maybe. That's possible.
Cuz he's getting close. Like if he has a few more 100-yard games, if he can like get 150 for the next few games, which is possible, he could probably get close to like 1,800.
That would be insane. Well, yeah.
Because he's at like, what, 200 now? 1,200 something?
But I feel like you have to make the playoffs.
I think that with Josh Jacobs, with how
recent
insane
history,
he has been.
Offensive player of the years, they usually make the playoffs.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. It's because the teams that make the playoffs have good players, and the good players are them. Like,
well, yeah.
This is the first time that we're seeing like I don't know.
I think Tyreek Hill wins it still. I think he still has a nod over him at the moment. But you never know.
I think Jacobs should at least get second, no matter what.
Well, yeah. Second.
Because how insane he's been. He's like Aaron. He's not like Aaron Judge. I'm not trying to say he's like Aaron Judge, but talk about a guy that's taking a contract year.
Yeah, I was
like to the next level.
Yeah.
Like dude has actually carried them. You want to get this next one? I'm about to sneeze.
Oh, he's about to sneeze. Achoo. Bengals defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 27-24. Joseph Burrow. Okay.
Oh, well.
I am really happy. This man, I think he's a top 5 quarterback in this league. 3-0 now against Patrick Mahomes. That's something we got to talk about. Joe Burrow's stat line was like 25 for 31, 286
you say
yards.
It was like. I have it right here.
Well, yeah, 3 total touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing. And then you got my homeboy with 16 for 27, 223 yards, 2 total touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 leaping. I like that. And Mr. Travis Kelce didn't look like himself this game. He had 1 fumble that might have cost him the game.
I don't know. So I wrote that down because he said it on the New Heights podcast. Shout out New Heights, my favorite podcast.
Yeah, we'll have them on our podcast one day. One day.
But
whoa,
yeah, that I don't know where that came from.
I heard demons.
Yeah, that fumble it changed the momentum. I mean, that's all there is to it. They still have plenty of chances to go down and do their thing. Cowboys, they defeat the Colts 54-19. Matt Ryan sucks. Colts defense is awful. Moving on. Bucks beat
dog water.
Yeah, dog water. They're dog water.
Dog water.
The Colts were in it in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, the Cowboys defense just decided to get every turnover pot. Well, some of the fumbles weren't even caused by the defenders. Like, the receivers just dropped the ball.
Yeah, it was like Alec Pierce.
Like, and it wasn't even like, I don't even know if like they punched the ball out. Like, I think they just hit them and the ball came out.
Yeah, ball security, guys. This is like fundamental stuff. Like protect the ball.
Yeah, that
was awful.
I don't even know why I sat there and watched that. Oh, I know why, because my fantasy depended on it. Bucks, they beat the Saints 17-16. Tom Brady is the GOAT.
GOAT.
That's all I got.
Undisputed,
greatest player of all time. He is, I mean...
I know it didn't look pretty.
He scored. He had 7 seconds. He scored twice. They called one back. He scored again.
There was 3 minutes left, and the score was 16-3. They won that game. You know, their win probability was 0.7% chance. How the heck do you do that? Tom Brady.
Or one name, Tom Brady.
The GOAT.
The greatest of all time.
So, now.
No.
Oh.
So we have a few little housekeeping things to get done. Dolphins, they're signing offensive tackle Eric Fisher with obviously their offensive tackle Austin Jackson going on injured reserve.
So, wait. That's why Nick Bosa had 3 sacks.
Because Austin Jackson went
down? Yeah. Right?
I don't know.
I didn't watch the game, so that might have been why.
I thought he was on Teron Armstead, but...
I don't know. Well, he could be switching. You don't have to stay on that one side.
I don't know. I'm not going to try to do. Von Miller.
That's another devastating one.
Yeah, man. So it was thought that he was going to be just put on IR and come back in a few weeks, but unfortunately it was actually a torn ACL, so he's out for the remainder of the season. I didn't see the video, but from the way the Bills fans reacted to it, I'm pretty sure that Von was emotional in the video.
Yeah. One of my favorite players in the league, man.
Same. Such a great player. Great guy. Wishing him a speedy recovery. Cowboys, left tackle Tyron Smith,
he's back.
He suffered a hamstring tendon injury in August.
Bodyguard.
Yeah, so he's going to be back. I don't know if he'll be back this week. I think he's going to be practicing. They're probably going to slowly put him back in there because the offensive line's been fine.
He'll be back for the playoffs. So he doesn't even need to play right now.
He doesn't. And I wouldn't honestly be surprised if they don't start him until like the last week. Something like that.
Keep him healthy.
Let's talk about some flex here. So let's see. On Saturday, which is very weird.
17th.
So not this Saturday. Next Saturday. The Colts and the Vikings are at 1 p.m. on Saturday. At 4:30, the Ravens face the Browns. And then at 8:15 on Saturday, the Dolphins and the Bills. I like that game.
Yes, that's going to be a fun one.
Yep. And then on Sunday, as you mentioned earlier, the Giants versus Commanders has been flexed. This is going to be a must-watch game. I'm excited to watch it.
For the Giants.
Man.
Their season depends on it.
Yeah. Big game.
And
right here. No, go ahead.
Mr. Daniel Jones is like 0 and whatever in prime time, so hopefully you can change that for this very, very special game that we need to win. Mm-hmm. That's all I need to say.
All right. The Broncos, they are the 70th help me.
70th team to allow 17 or fewer touchdowns in their first 12 games. That is and
yeah.
Let's say the average win total for the 69 prior teams through 12 games is 9.04. And guess what? The Broncos are just 3-9. They're just 3-9.
Yeah, I mean
that's insane.
It shows how good their defense is.
Yeah.
The Broncos have scored only 14 touchdowns the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
14.
14.
They would be 10-2 if they scored exactly 18 points in every game they played this year.
They need to look themselves in the mirror and make some tough decisions.
Hackett's gone.
They need to make some tough decisions this offseason and make sure things get right. Because that is awful.
Yep. Let's look real quick at something here.
Yeah, we got something.
Taysom Hill, now the only player in the Super Bowl era with 9+ touchdown passes, or touchdown passing, rushing, and receiving.
He's built different.
The Bills are the first team in NFL history to beat 4 former Super Bowl winning head coaches on the road in a single regular season. The Cowboys are the first team in NFL history to rush for 150+ yards, pass for 150+ yards, and score 25+ points in 5 consecutive games. That's insane.
That is insane.
The rushing is insane. Joe Burrow is the first NFL quarterback to defeat Mahomes in 3 straight head-to-head matchups. Josh Jacobs leads all players with 85 first downs from scrimmage this season. The next closest is Tyreek Hill with 64.
Yeah.
Which is why I think he has that argument for Offensive Player of the Year. And then only Matt Ryan with 28 has more losses than Justin Herbert with 23 since 2020. Staley, get out of there.
Yeah.
You're ruining this dude. And then, the Broncos' 13.8 points per game is the lowest recorded by an offense in the last 10 seasons.
That is awful. Wow.
Oh, that sounds so fake. Oh, wait, we didn't even mention the Rams. They picked up Baker Mayfield.
They claimed him off waivers, and there wasn't that many teams that actually even put in a claim for him. The Niners did not put in a claim for Baker Mayfield. You think they would?
I think that Sean McVay could be the guy that helps Baker.
Now, I have a buy or sell topic with Baker. We'll talk about it more later, but
I think
it's very intriguing.
There's a very low chance he could play tomorrow.
I don't think he does.
I think he could.
I mean, he doesn't know the offense.
It doesn't matter. He's better than Bryce Perkins.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
If they're going to play old school football, just throw the ball where it's open.
Yeah.
Just say the play and then throw it where it's open. All right. You can go ahead and get this in.
Well, with the recent news of Odell Beckham and his
failed
injury,
physical.
Yeah, his failed physical.
Dallas didn't even offer him.
Doesn't know if he will even be playing this season.
Well, he thinks he can. He actually went on Twitter and laughed about Dallas not offering him something. He said that his physical was like they wanted him to squat, and he did that. And apparently they didn't like something about how he squatted. And he's just like, I've never done one of these squats before. Like, what do you mean? Like, because it's like a certain type of squat. I don't know, dude.
Okay.
It just seems like Dallas just didn't really. I don't know.
The buy or sell topic is Odell will be on a team this year, buy or sell?
Buy. I think the Giants, with what they offered him, there's no doubt in my mind that he will accept that offer now.
You think he will go back?
If it's multiple years that they offered him?
You think he'll go back to Big Blue?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
I think it was like a 3-year deal, like $35 million, something like that. Is what I read online. I don't know how true that is.
I'd take it. I think he's a 30-year-old coming off an ACL tear. He wasn't what he once was. Yeah. He did help last year.
He did help. I was going to win the Super Bowl
But
MVP.
even if he recovers this entire offseason, he's still probably not going to make that much money. Like, he's not going to get paid like 20 plus.
Yeah,
so you might as well just take what the Giants
right
offered
now.
you.
Yeah.
And go back and help them now. So, yeah.
All right. Now, our next one's a little funny one. Shout out to Justin. Brock Purdy will be the next Tom Brady. Buy or sell? Sell? I don't know.
Let's not talk about this. Just sell.
Mr. Irrelevant. Looked pretty good. He was wheeling and dealing.
Sell.
He beat a good defense.
Sell.
The Dolphins.
Sell.
Yeah, I'm selling it too, Justin. Sorry about that. Next one up. Joe Burrow and the Bengals are the best team in the AFC.
Sell.
Why are we selling it?
Because I still think the Chiefs and Bills are better than them. And I might even argue that the Dolphins could be better than them.
Now, I have a question.
And that's because of their defense. That's not because of Joe Burrow not doing anything. He's doing more than enough.
Now I got a question. Why are the Bengals worse than the Dolphins?
I think the Dolphins would beat them head to head. That's why I'm saying that.
Why? Because they can't guard Tyreek Hill
and Jalen Waddle. They don't have the secondary.
Didn't they play this year?
Huh? Yeah, Tua got.
Was that game?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where he was doing signs on the floor? Yeah, no. That was
so
that game.
Bengals won that game?
Yeah.
It was Thursday night, right?
It was Teddy Bridgewater coming in.
So, I don't know. But they did beat the Chiefs.
Bro was trying to make a point.
But they did beat the Chiefs.
And then you're like, oh, wait, was that game? I'm like, yeah.
So I'm saying this. Now that Von Miller's hurt, too, I feel like that gives the Bengals an edge, possibly over the Bills. I know the Bills are really, really good.
Bills still have a good D-line.
Oh, yeah.
Gregory Rousseau, however you say that, he's a star.
All I'm saying is don't count out Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
I'm not counting them out.
I think they could be a contender.
Yeah.
Easily be a contender. You could easily see
I didn't say they weren't a contender.
Game.
I just said I don't think that they would beat a few teams head-to-head.
I think
the Chiefs would beat them next time around.
No, I think they got their Chiefs number. I think they know how to play it.
I think they're going to get into their heads about it and be like, oh, this is just the Chiefs again.
All right, now, number 4. Commanders will still make the playoffs despite tying with the Giants.
I think it's possible because the Giants have to play the Eagles 2 more times, including this weekend. So I think that could be an automatic 2 losses. So obviously when you're being 75, 70, you'd be 7 losses. I don't know.
Now
I'm gonna sell it. I think the Giants are gonna make the playoffs over the Commanders.
Okay.
I have this weird feeling. I just think that their Giants are better coached.
They are better coached.
And I personally,
I feel like the Commanders have played their easy games the past few weeks, which is why they've been winning. They haven't been challenged. They've been the better team in all the matchups they've played.
I guess you could say that.
So,
I mean, again, it's really going to come down to if you guys beat them. Because I think Dallas is going to beat the Commanders when they play them one more time.
We easily could have beat them. We shot ourselves in the foot multiple times that game.
I know. And I think that if you beat them, and then you know that they're going to lose to Dallas, and then you know you could beat them again, you make the playoffs. It's done.
I have a feeling that the Giants and Commanders can both still make the playoffs.
They can. It depends on how the Seahawks play. But I think the Seahawks, with how Geno's been playing, people try to say that Geno's going to fall off at some point. No, he's done this for too long. He's locked in. He's good. It really is just going to come down to that Seahawks defense trying to lock in. I like Bruce Irvin. Cool dude. Can't be your starting defensive end.
Yeah, he's an old man now.
Yeah.
What did I said bye. I think they can still make the playoffs, in my opinion. Next one up. Mike White will remain the starter for the rest of the season by herself.
It's hard to say. I think if the Jets lose another game, they're not going to stick to him. I think, I know the team was rooting for him and had his back, and they're wearing all the shirts and they're buying into him.
Yes.
But I think this is just kind of what we went through last year with Mike White. He beat the Bengals. He looked good. Started the next game, looked fine-ish.
Yeah.
Looked like he struggled a little bit. And I think that's when Wilson came back. I can't remember, but I feel like it's going to kind of be like that type of thing. Okay, they might who they even play? We haven't done our predictions yet.
That will be next.
They play the Bills. So, considering that they will likely lose this game, in my opinion, they'll go to 7-6. I think they'll have no reason not to go back.
They've already beat them once, though.
They have beat them once.
So I'm not counting them out.
I'm not going to count them out either, but I think that they could. I think the Bills are kind of back on track to where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like, okay, I think the Bills could probably win out the rest of this season. Ooh, wait.
I don't think. Oh, we're gonna see that game. Ooh.
Oh yeah, Dolphins and Bills on Sunday or on Saturday. I forgot about that game, and then they play the Bengals.
They still have to play the. All right, well,
2 night games.
We will see if Joe Burrow and the Bengals can beat these top-notch teams.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm gonna give you a no. I do think that Zach Wilson is probably gonna get back in there at some point.
Okay, I'm gonna buy it. I believe the whole team right now believes in Mike White. So. That being said, they had T-shirts.
You can't make them throw 60 passes.
Well, because their running game hasn't been great, and they were behind.
Their running game was fine against the Vikings. Do it at 90 yards.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Okay, Matt, next.
Next up.
Sal.
Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Fields.
Okay, so I'm gonna from what we have seen as of recent, we have seen Trevor kind of turn it up again. Where he's kind of looking like next year will be that you know how every quarterback's supposed to have that sophomore year where they're gonna jump, right? We haven't seen that with Trevor, but I think it's gonna be a junior year slump or not slump, junior year jump.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's bound to happen. He does have he's one of the quarterbacks that has the most potential. He's very good.
He is good.
So
he could throw the ball.
I think a second year with Doug Peterson is going to do wonders for him. I think altogether Justin Fields could be better than him. But I think that he doesn't have the right tools around him to do so. I know you disagree. Well, let's not make this longer than it should be. It's already 44 minutes. Just get your point across in 30 seconds.
Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Fields, in my opinion. He's a better thrower of the football. And I think he will be more successful in the NFL. And that's why I think he's better than Justin Fields. Justin Fields, I said, his game, he won't be consistent and it won't lead to wins. Like him running around and all that stuff, that's good and all. It's not winning them games. I know him as an individual has... You're rushing me, man.
I have to because we can't go to 50.
All right, but Justin Fields, you got to be better than Trevor Lawrence. You showed some improvements this year, but I still think Trevor Lawrence is better. So I am buying that. Next up, you're going to hate this one. Eagles are overrated.
So...
and haven't beat any good opponents.
So, because if the Giants fans want to sit here and say that the Titans were a good opponent, then they're a good opponent for us, and we made them look dumb.
Well, I still think they're a good opponent.
And then
they're division leaders right now.
We beat the Cowboys, who still had their defense. Like, their defense was healthy. They were good. It was their defense. We still did our things on them. Sure, they didn't have the, Dak Prescott to help them on offense, but at the time, Cooper Rush was playing good football. And without Cooper Rush coming in and playing well, they wouldn't be in the spot that they're in today. So they gave the Cowboys a chance throughout that game to win. But the Eagles beat them. And I think that Cowboys are a good team. Commanders, we're seeing them go to the playoff picture now. They've beat some good teams as well this year. So maybe the time that we beat them or that we lost to them, yeah, that hurts. But we went against that defense and we beat that defense. So I'm going to sell. I think we've played some good opponents.
All right, I'm going to buy the first half of the sentence. I think they're a little overrated.
Why?
But they have beat good opponents.
So why are they overrated?
They're overrated because I think they're not like the top team in the NFL. I think there's other teams.
No one says that they are.
No. There's a lot of power rankings. They're number one.
Power rankings doesn't mean who's the best team. It just means who...
No, people say they're number one team.
Going head-to-head with the Chiefs and the Bills, listen, I could be as biased as I want, but I do think that when it comes to the Chiefs and the Bills, I don't know how we play against them because we haven't. It's been a long time since we've played that caliber of team to really get that measuring tool. But that's not why I think we're not overrated because of that because we can't control that.
Well, I'm just saying. I think the Eagles are overrated, and they have beat good opponents. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Desmond Ridder. Should he start over Mariota for the last 5 games? Why?
Because if they're going to be in a position to take a guy like Hendon Hooker, who might fall, or Will Levis, you need to see what Desmond Ridder got. Now, you're not going to be giving him a fair chance to show what he got through a 5-game span because there's going to be ups and downs. Mm-hmm. But, if he comes in and he looks good, there's no reason for you to try to take a quarterback next year. Just roll with him.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If things go bad and you have a bad record, guess what? Caleb Williams is right there. Right? So, I think that they should let him get the starts. I think Mariota, he did his job. Congratulations to him. I know that the Falcons, people might want to say that they're not totally out of it because they're out of it. I actually didn't realize how far they fell. I didn't realize that they're 5-8.
They're still second in the NFC South, though.
But again, I think the Bucs will end up going, so I'm not worried about that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I do believe that Desmond Ridder should start. I think Mariota, he's good and all, but he's not gonna be your future. So might as well try him out and see what he can do. Yeah. So I'm buying that. Next up, Brandon Staley will be gone by the end of the season. Buy or sell?
Bye. He will be gone. I don't think it should even be a debate. The only reason I'm debating it is because I'm trying to think would they do that because the Chargers are an organization. I think that Sean Payton will be the guy that either goes there or the Cardinals. I think it's between those two. I would like to see him go with the Chargers. I think that they would actually have a lot of success with him.
Oh, I love that.
And then also comes into the fact that I don't know. I don't want him to go to the NFC. I don't want another good team to have to worry about. But yeah.
I think, what? You're looking at someone's contract. Is that for the next topic?
Yeah.
But Brandon Staley, I think if they make the playoffs and they win a game, he keeps his job. If they miss the playoffs, he's gone. So I'm going to buy it. I think he'll be gone. Next up, last and final topic for buy or sell. Baker Mayfield will earn a starting job after showcasing his talents with the Rams. It doesn't have to be with the Rams. It could be for another team.
Okay, so I'm going to sell it. I think Baker could do well with the Rams. And I don't know if that would get him another starting gig, because I think there are a lot of the teams that don't have a quarterback right now are looking towards the draft to get their answer. So I don't know. I don't know if they're looking at Baker Mayfield and being like, after what he did with the Panthers in the last year with the Browns, they're like, okay, yeah, he might play good with Sean McVay. That could be the offensive scheme. It depends. Maybe do I believe in my coach being able to get that kind of talent out of Baker? There's a lot of check marks that need to get checked.
Yes. And everything has to go his way, and I don't think that will happen.
Yeah, and it definitely wouldn't be with the Rams, because Stafford's going to be making $31 million in 2024.
Yeah.
$27 million the year after, and
maybe
then opt out.
This injury for Matthew Stafford is really, really serious, and it has to retire.
It's just a head concussion.
Nah, it's a spinal cord issue.
It?
Yeah. It's like a disc is like touching his spinal cord or something. So there might be some concern there. That's why they shut him down for the season.
Yeah.
But I think Baker Mayfield.
I think if that's the case, if that is the case, then there is a chance that Baker could be the guy next year for them, because they don't have a draft pick to get another quarterback. So this could be like their way of this for Baker, knowing or not knowing what happens with Stafford. This could be his tryout to be their quarterback next season.
I still don't think he will earn a starting job. We've seen enough of him.
So he built solid.
He's been so. Okay. I think he's trash, and he might not even be in the NFL anymore. Maybe he'll get a backup job.
No, he will be a backup.
But he won't be getting
He was the first overall pick. He's not going to just get out of the NFL.
I just think he's awful. So, that concludes the buy or sell portion of the podcast.
That also concludes the podcast.
That concludes the podcast, because that's the final segment.
Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like and subscribe. Follow us on all socials. Our link tree is in the description.
We got Instagram.
We got Twitter. And we have TikTok, where we have gone viral.
We have gone viral. If you haven't seen our TikTok page, go follow it.
Go follow it.
Yeah.
And, be sure to make sure that be sure to check out our Instagram and Twitter and all that, because we're going to post. Be active, and we're going to ask if you guys want us to cover anything. So if you're sitting at home and you have a topic that you want us to talk about, feel free to drop it in there. We will prioritize it over anything we talk about.
Yes.
Just for our viewers. And, that's all I got. So see you in the next one.
BenchWire out.